paradise for vacations, located in Southeast Asia, Thailand, the land of smile. Good evening, class. We are Group 5. Welcome to Thailand. We are going to cover the following topics in our presentation: the background of Thailand, accounting professional, sources of influence, unique accounting standard, and standard adoption. I'm Peter, and I will start with the background. A unified Thai kingdom was established in the mid-14th century. A bloodless revolution in 1932 led to a constitutional monarchy. The population of Thailand is around 67 million. 96% of the population are Thai, and 94% of them are Buddhist. Similar to United Kingdom, the king is hereditary, and the prime minister who actually runs the country is elected by Thai citizens. Economic environment of Thailand. Thailand's gross domestic production is around 387 billion US dollar. It is the 25th largest economy in the world. 44% of the GDP is contributed by industry sector, with another 44% from service sector. And the last 12% is from agriculture. The industry sector is concentrated with electronics, computer and auto parts manufacturing industries. And the service sector is mostly composed of tourist business. Thailand exported about 219 billion of goods and services in 2013. Their major trading partners include China, Japan, and the United States. The tax revenue is about 20.2% of the GDP. This number is considered lower than most of the country. It is ranked 162nd out of 215 countries, from the highest to the lowest. And to be more specific, Thai's 20% corporate tax rate is considered moderate for business. Thai also has a relatively young population. Out of 67 million people, 39 million are considered labor force. The unemployment rate is less than 1%, with a mild and stable inflation rate around 2%. The GDP growth rate is about 2.9%. It is a bit lower compared to other emerging markets. However, it is due to some recent political and natural turbulences, such as military coup to oust the corrupted prime minister in 2006 and the tsunami in 2004. Thailand is now recovering from such incidents and has a lot of growth potential. Business environment of Thailand. The regulation of government are relatively friendly for foreigners to do business in Thailand. According to the research done by World Bank, Thailand is ranked 26 out of 189 countries for the easiness to do business. One thing we need to keep in mind is that, different from Western business culture, Thai people expect to build relationship before actually doing business with each other. Therefore, the pace of business could be a little bit slower. However, once the relationship is built up, the business would go pretty stable, with trust from both parties. Let me pass on to Alireza to go in depth about the foundation of business, accounting profession.
Thank you, Peter. Hello everyone, I'm Alireza and I will be presenting the exciting profession of accounting in Thailand. Do you know that trade between US and Thailand is increasing by 5% every year? Are you interested in doing business in Thailand? Do you want to open up your own accounting firm or just practice accounting in Thailand? If your answer to any of these questions is yes, then it's really important to know about laws and regulations that govern the accounting profession in Thailand. To emphasize on the importance of this issue, for instance, it's important to know that there are several positions that generally foreigners cannot legally occupy when seeking employment in Thailand. Foreigners generally are not permitted to practice accounting. However, They can manage or act as heads of firms. Therefore, you can open up your own accounting firm, but you need to employ local people to take care of the accounting tasks. As a manager or head of firm, you need to obtain a work permit in order to work at any company. At this point, let me introduce the accounting profession in Thailand. Accounting profession includes profession in bookkeeping, auditing, managerial accounting, accounting system, tax accounting, and accounting education and technology. It is regulated by the Accounting Professions Act BE 2547 in 2004. It's interesting to note that this act was actually approved and enacted by His Majesty the King of Thailand himself, with the advice and consent of the National Assembly. The accounting profession is supervised by the Federation of Accounting Professions and is controlled by Accounting Profession Oversight Board. Federation of Accounting Professions is the Center for Accounting Professions in Thailand. It was established in 2004, and as of April 2013, there are about 54,000 individuals registered as a member. There are also about 2,000 registered audit firms that are operating now. One of these firms is KPMG in Thailand, which is one of the largest professional services firms with more than 1,000 Thai professionals and a balanced mix of international and local clients. There are 4 types of membership of the FAP, namely Ordinary Member, Extraordinary Member, Associate Member, and Honorable Member. It's important to know the membership types because the members play a vital role in shaping the accounting profession and also CPA license requirements. Some of their characteristics are the following. An ordinary member is someone who is not younger than 20 years old, has Thai nationality, and has at least a bachelor's degree in accountancy or other approved degrees. An extraordinary member has at least a bachelor's degree in business administration, commerce, economics, or other approved degrees. An associate member's education level is lower than a bachelor's degree but higher than certificate in high-level vocational schooling. An honorary member is a person invited to be a member by a resolution of the committee of the FAP. In order to become a CPA in Thailand, the individual must meet the requirements set by the FAP. Speaking about CPA, it's interesting to note that the founders of the 2 main firms, which today make up KPMG in Thailand, were part of Thailand's business elite. One was a Minister of Finance, and the other one held the first ever CPA certificate awarded in Thailand. Some of the basic requirements now are the following. Being an ordinary member or an extraordinary member of FAP, having accountancy or accountancy-related professional education, normally 4 years of study, passing 6 subjects within 4 years. Each subject passed remains valid only for 4 years, and also completing 3,000 hours of practical experience. As the requirements show, there are some differences between the concept and environment of accounting profession in Thailand versus in the US. And wait, there is more. There are some specific regulations. For example, auditors involved in auditing certain organizations need a specific clearance from those regulatory bodies. Bank of Thailand supervises financial statements of the financial sector. So if you are going to audit a financial company, then you also need to get a special clearance from the Bank of Thailand. How about tax? Once you become a CPA, can you provide tax compliance services? The answer is no. It is important to note that being a registered CPA does not permit the individual to act as a approved tax agent for compliance with tax law purposes. The government issues separate license for individuals in order for them to provide a tax compliance service. All these differences show that the uniqueness of accounting profession and its structure in Thailand. At this point, I would like to introduce Mehrdad. He will be discussing the major sources of influence on accounting in Thailand.
Hi, my name is Mehrdad, and I will briefly present the law and organization which have major influence on accounting standards in Thailand. Accounting Act 2547, Accounting Profession Oversight Board, Federation of Accounting Professions, or FAB as we call it in this presentation, and the Ministry of Finance as the main taxing authority are the major sources of influence on accounting standards in Thailand. The Accounting Act 2547 provides the basic requirements relating to financial reporting by all business entities incorporated in Thailand. The Accounting Act requires that registered partnership limited companies, public limited companies established under Thai law, and the joint venture and the foreign entities operating in Thailand under the Revenue Code maintain book of accounts. The rules of Act prescribe that Thai accounting standards are mandatory for accounting and professional reporting by all business entities. The Act introduced a new regulatory framework under which all accounting professions, auditing, accounting and bookkeeping, managerial accounting, tax accounting, accounting education, and technology and other accounting services are supervised by the self-regulatory organization of the Federation of Accounting Profession. The Oversight Committee on Accounting Profession, which is under the Ministry of Commerce, has the authority and duty to supervise the overall performance of FAB to make sure they comply with the laws and objectives. It also proposes the enactment of royal decrees and approves the regulation, standards, and rules of the FAB. The OCAP considers the appeal of applicants for licenses of CPA and the appeals of allegers or persons penalized by the Committee on Professional Ethics. The Oversight Committee consists of 14 members, including 7 government secretaries, governors, and directors, 3 representatives of Thai industries, bankers associations, and Chamber of Commerce, 3 accounting and legal professionals, and 1 representative from FAB. FAB is a member of International Federation of Accountants, as has the authorities and duties to promote education, training, and research in accounting. It also has the authority to set accounting and auditing standards. FAB is the responsible body to prescribe the Code of Accounting Ethics. FAB has the authority to register the accounting practitioners and suspend or revoke their license or certify decrees. As specified in the Act, there are 17 FAB committee members comprising 1 president, 6 ex officio members, and 5 specific accounting profession committee chairs. Currently, there are 8 committees working under FAB: Committee on Professional Ethics, Committee on Accounting Standard Setting, and 6 Accounting Professions Committee. Accounting Standard Setting Committee is under supervision of FAB and lays out the procedure of accounting and auditing standard setting. The committee reviews the issue raised and draft or revise the standards. It also scrutinizes and improves the drafts and obtains the final approval of Oversight Committee and of Accounting Profession. Accounting Standard Setting Committee comprises of individual experts and representatives from government, industries, and SEC. We should mention that the central government of Thailand is the main tax authority who lays out of Revenue Code. The Revenue Department of Ministry of Finance is responsible for the administration of the personal income and the corporate taxes. Meanwhile, Thailand Tax Administrative follows the concept of self-assessment. Now I introduce Andrew, who presents the unique accounting standards in Thailand.
We have studied the differences between the IFRS and the US GAAP. However, Thailand Accounting Standards, or TAS, isn't exactly the same as IFRS. Now we are comparing some of the major differences between the IFRS and the TAS to see what are the unique accounting standards. IAS 14 is about segment reporting. It's equivalent to TAS 24. The key differences between them is TAS-24 requires disclosure less than IAS 14. It also requires an entity to disclose the information equally for the business segment and the geographic segment, while IAS 14 requires less disclosure of the secondary segment than the primary segment. TAS-24 does not require disclosure in primary reporting segment of the following: segment liabilities, acquisition cost of land and building during the period, depreciation and amortization, non-cash expenses, share of profit, loss of associate, and joint venture. The differences regarding property, plant, and equipment. TAS-32 does not include within the scope the measurement and recognition of assets dismantlement, removal, and the restoration cost. It includes only the costs incurred as a consequence of installing the item. ISS exchange transaction. IAS 16 requires an entity to measure an item of property, plant, and equipment acquired in the exchange for non-monetary assets, or a combination of monetary and non-monetary assets, at a fair value unless exchange transaction lack commercial substance. Under TAS-32, an entity measured such an acquired asset at a fair value unless the exchange asset was similar. TAS-32 does not clearly set out depreciation charge for each significant part of property, plant, and equipment. However, IAS 16 requires an entity to determine the depreciation charge separately for each significant part of an item of PPE. The IAS-21 is about the effect of changes in foreign exchange rate, which refers as TAS-30 in Thailand. IAS-21 requires each individual reporting entity, whether it is a standalone entity, an entity with foreign operations such as a parent, or foreign operation such as subsidiary or branch, to determine its functional currency and measure its result and the financial position in that currency. However, TAS-30 does not include the requirement to determine functional currency. Moreover, IAS-21 removes the limited option to capitalize exchange differences resulting from a severe devaluation or depreciation of a currency against which there is no means of hedging. Under the standard, such exchange differences are not recognized in the profit or loss. Regarding the related party disclosure, IAS-24 requires a disclosure of compensation of key management and the type of that compensation. Discussions on the pricing of transaction and related disclosures between related parties have been removed from the updated version of IAS-24. However, in TAS-47, Thai list company is required to follow the additional disclosure requirement of the SEC, whereas it requires more disclosure plus pricing policy. There are some international accounting standards that Thailand currently has no equivalent standards. One of them is the IAS 41, Agriculture. The objective of this standard is to prescribe the accounting treatment and disclosures related to agriculture activity. IAS 41 prescribes the accounting treatment for biological assets during the period of growth, degeneration, production, and procreation, and for the initial measurement of agriculture produce at the point of harvest. It requires measurement at the fair value less cost to sell from initial recognition of biological assets up to the point of harvest, other than where fair value cannot be measured reliably on initial recognition. This standard is applied to agricultural produce, which is the harvest product of the entity's biological assets, only at the point of harvest. Based on the current situation of Thailand, we believe that no effective TS on agriculture is because that this kind of accounting treatment is too complicated to understand and will cost too much for family-held agriculture business in Thailand. Next, Monica will talk about the standard adoption.
Hi, my name is Monica and I will be presenting the adoption of IFRS. Thailand's plan and effort to adopt IFRS has been progressing at a fast rate. Since the initial plan to adopt IFRS in 2009, about 85% of standards determined to be adopted have been adopted and has taken place in 2014. There are a few standards left to converge in 2015 and 2016, and some are still under preparation without a set effective date. However, it has to be understood that one convergence will not take place, specifically IFRS 1, which is a standard that covers the first time adoption of international financial reporting standards. Therefore, full adoption of IFRS will be ongoing, continually interpreting and analyzing the similarities and differences between Thailand and international standards. Adoption of IFRS has, however, not come in a smooth path. There are areas where IFRS allows choices but TAS does not, areas where TAS allows choices but IFRS does not, areas where IFRS has guidance but TAS currently does not have an equivalent standard. And it also must be considered how relevant international financial standards are to Thailand. Over time, and as evident from the new adoptions, the standard setters have worked hard to try to converge the standards as much as possible, although that may mean adopting new standards. Language conversion is also an issue at the base of convergence. In order for companies to use IFRS after the convergence, the standard has to be translated into the Thai language, which may create a time lag. Translation into local language has provided challenges for the accounting profession globally. The adoption of IFRS in Thailand has taken place by updating current Thai standards and adding new standards. Thailand standards include TAS, Thailand Accounting Standard, and TFRS, Thailand Financial Reporting Standard. In order to adopt international standards, all these standards must be converged, either by changing them to match their counterparts or added if the counterpart does not exist. We have produced here a snapshot of conversion dates about to take place. You can see that some converted standards have already been effective since 2011 and have been effective in 2014, while others, like IAS 32, which was mentioned earlier by Andrew, is still under preparation, and at the bottom, IAS 41, about agriculture, will be effective in 2016. Overall, stakeholders have different views of adoption. Some companies have willingly adopted IFRS even before the effective dates. They probably see that change will be inevitable, and it is best to get ahead of the game. There are other stakeholders who voice their opinions on the adoption. Management believes some convergences and/or new standards are difficult to implement. Auditors believe that the convergence and new standards have better reflected the outcome of operations. In conclusion, by 2016, most TAS will be converged with the version of IFRS that they anchor the conversion to. Assessing from their current conversion status, Thailand is flexible and will continue to update IFRS standards when necessary. Overall, being economically stable and having the potential for growth, combined with eliminating accounting standard differences between many foreign countries that may be doing business with them, Thailand should be more competitive as an international player. Thank you.